Hi, welcome to Sahadhyayana. Thanks for the support and encouragement so far for various lecture series. I'm getting very inspiring comments and messages so far. So, I'm putting a little effort in bringing in a new lecture series on embedded systems. I hope the support and encouragement will continue. Our day-to-day life is becoming more and more dependent on embedded systems and digital technologies. Knowingly or unknowingly, embedded technologies are bonding into our daily activities. Most of the systems which we use today or which are part of our daily life, like refrigerator, microwave oven, washing machine, television, air conditioner, DVD players, music systems. So n number, it goes on, this list goes on. So all this which we use at our home or at our workplace are built around an embedded system. We may be traveling by a car, branded car, Toyota, Ford, Honda, right? All these passenger vehicles also have so many features, security systems supported by embedded system. So let us check in what is an embedded system and how embedded system is different from a normal electronic or electromechanical system. Somebody asks you what is an embedded system, you will be answering them that an embedded system is an electromechanical system, or I can call it as an electronic system also. So an embedded system is an electronic or electromechanical system designed to perform a specific function and a combination of both hardware and software, or better we say firmware. Okay, but nowadays everywhere we use the word software, that's why I wrote software. Okay, so this is a very good definition, universally accepted definition for embedded system. Okay, so I hope this sentence itself will tell you a lot of things about embedded system. But what the catch here is, a system designed to perform a specific function. That is the catch here. If you have an electronic system, or to be specific an electromechanical system, which is designed to perform a single task or a specific function, then I can call that system as embedded system. It is because of this reason most of the systems around us is named as embedded system. Okay, I cannot call a water bottle as an embedded system as such, because going with this definition, but to make you understand, see, a water bottle, maybe a hot water bottle. So what is the purpose of that hot water bottle? To store the water, hot. So storing the water hot is the functionality. That is a specific function of that hot water bottle. Getting what I'm trying to say? That particular hot water bottle can be used for some other functions also. But what is the defined function? Is that. And is it mainly used for that? Yes. Such systems can be named as embedded system. That's why we say each and every embedded system is unique. And it is designed, or it is hardwired, okay, to be specialized in a specific application domain. That's my second point. Say every embedded system is unique, and the hardware as well as the software is highly specialized to some application domain. Because of this reason, the embedded systems are becoming a very inevitable part of any equipment or any product which we see around us. So that's why I've given you examples earlier also, in my previous video also. In this video also, the household appliances are very good examples. You can easily connect with those household appliances. From today, whenever you are watching your television, using your set-top box, pulling the door of refrigerator to pick some very really cold food, right? Because summer season now. Whatever it is, okay, you should always think about how that system is working. What is that system is designed for a specific function. Keep on thinking so that the definition of embedded system will be freezed in your mind, and you will not call any given electronic system as embedded system from tomorrow. So my intention is that you should not keep on calling any electronic system as an embedded system. Embedded system should be specific, because embedded system is specific. Nice. So other applications are telecommunications, medical equipments. You might have seen X-ray machines, ECG, right? Cardiogram machines, stethoscopes, whatever. Okay, all those are specific function devices. Then so many industrial control devices. Then other consumer products. A mop to clean the floor, vacuum cleaner. Okay, any this. Everything is embedded system. Nice. So if you're interested more in knowing, okay, you can type in Google examples for embedded system. You can find out 100 examples. Yeah. Now, how this embedded system is compared with a general computing system? So for that, you should be knowing what I am speaking about general computing system. So after this video, you should be able to segregate. You should be able to exactly separate computing systems and embedded systems. So general purpose computing system, when I say, it is a combination of hardware and software anyway. Okay, but here the firmware will be a general purpose operating system. It will be your laptop is an example. Laptop is not an embedded system. Interesting. You know that laptop is for a specific function. Maybe you may think, why not laptop, sir? Laptop has a specific function. Specific functions. In the sense, when I say, I give you an example for hot water bottle, it can be used for storing milk also. It can be used for some storing cold water also. But what is its main purpose? Whether it is serving that main purpose. Okay, others are not main purposes. When you come to laptop, it serves a specific function. I agree, but it serves specific functions. And it is difficult for you to identify which is the specific function out of these many functions, because it depends upon which application you are executing on the operating system. Now, right now, I am using a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, my general purpose computing system is supporting that. Nice. But after this video lecture, I may be using this for typing some document using Microsoft Office. After that, I'll be using the same system for browsing the internet. After that, I may be using this system for whatever. You know. So what is the specific function of laptop now? Recording a PPT or browsing the internet or typing a document. So it is doing multifunctioning, right? So there is no specific functionality. That's why we call this laptop as a general purpose computing system. Nice. But when you come to an embedded system, it is also a combination of, as I told you, combination of hardware and software. Yes, of course. But here, the operating system will be an embedded operating system which is designed for executing a specific set of application only. So I have highlighted there to help you. General computing system will execute a variety of applications, while embedded system will execute a specific set of applications. I have put it in a table format to help you during your exams. You can note down this and reproduce it, remember it as it is to score some marks in your exams. Okay, so second point is continuation of that. I am talking about a general purpose operating system. Okay, so here I was talking about a hardware and variety of applications. Here I am talking specific with operating system. Second criteria. So I can say that it contains a general purpose operating system, but embedded system may or may not contain an operating system. That's very important. Okay, there are hardware only embedded systems also. So that is important. So here always I will have an operating system, Windows, Android, okay, or Apple related, Linux, any operating system. And here I may or may not have an operating system, and if I have an operating system, it will be an embedded operating system, which will be pretty new for you. It will not be a general purpose operating system. Each system will have a different operating system. For example, a DVD player, you don't know what operating system a DVD player works on. Nice. Now coming to applications, okay, or a criteria is alterations. In general purpose computing system, applications are alterable, programmable, right? As I told laptop as an example, you can keep on changing many things. You can have Windows 7, then you can upgrade it to Windows 8, then you can upgrade to Windows 10, and same functions what you were performing on Windows 7, you can perform on Windows 10 also, with additional features, of course, but basic functionality remains same. So applications are alterable, okay, it is programmable by the user. So it is that's what it is possible for you to reinstall the operating system, add or remove some applications, all that. But when you come to embedded system, the firmware of the embedded system is pre-programmed, and it is not alterable by end user, that is you yourself who are using the embedded system. It is not possible for you, okay, to alter it. In the modern world and with modern science, I cannot challenge you that you cannot alter it. I am not saying you cannot alter it. What I am saying is you should not alter it. That's the idea. If you alter it, it becomes a new embedded system. It cannot be the same embedded system. Now coming to the performance, okay, keeping key factor as the criteria. Performance is the key deciding factor in the selection of the system. More faster the better. When you choose your laptop, you look at the clocking speed, right? This many gigahertz, that many gigahertz. I want this much RAM. So performance is decided by the selection of the system. And what you look for is how fast it can perform. When you come to embedded system, speed is a factor, I agree, but that is not only the factor. The application is for specific requirements, right? So the key deciding factors changes here. In general operating system or in general purpose computing system, the key factor is speed. Key factor. Many factors are there. In that, the most important factor is speed, obvious. But in account to embedded system, along with speed, that is along with performance, power requirement, memory usage, all these come into picture. So key factors are more in embedded system compared to general purpose computing system. And coming to power consumption, an embedded system, a developed embedded system cannot consume lot of power because most of the embedded system may be portable devices, handheld battery operated devices. In that case, the power consumption should be very, very less. It should be in milliwatts. But you know that most of our general purpose computing system, a desktop, a laptop kind of systems, consumes lot of power. Now response time. This is very important point, but I don't want to drag it too much also. I'll try to make you understand. When you come to response time, it is not critical when you come to general purpose computing system. You may be frustrated, you may be irritated if your laptop is not performing the way you wanted it. Is it not? You try to log in okay, switch on one document, means open one document, at the same time browsing internet, it may not respond sometime. What happens if, what I'm trying to say is, it is not critical. What happens if it doesn't respond? Nothing happens. You have to wait. You are sending a mail, you are attaching a file. Obviously, it depends upon the internet speed also. Okay, whatever. Okay, your system, your general purpose system, the application is to attach a 1 GB file and send it via, okay, drive. Or you are attaching a 10 MB file, you want to send it via email. Your system is taking too much time. You expected it to be attached in 10 seconds or 20 seconds. It is 2 minutes over. Still it is not getting attached. What is the only problem it is causing you? Yeah, obviously. You will be irritated or frustrated. Other than that, it is not going to cause you any problems, right? It is not critical. But when it comes to embedded system, if some system is designed to work in 1 second, it should be able to respond in that 1 second. Else, something is going to be wrong. Not always. That's why it was critical for some applications. Simple good example I will give you. Anti-lock braking system in car, passenger car. All of you might have heard about this, ABS, anti-lock braking system. The anti-lock braking system should work then and there, instantly, even before you could respond. Is it not? It should happen in milliseconds, microseconds. What if my anti-lock braking system, which is a component of, very important component of car embedded system, what if that particular system does not respond in given time? You will be in critical stage. That is the criticality. That is one good example. There are so many other examples. We'll look into one by one later in coming videos. Is that fine? So always remember, okay, this is very important. Response time of a general purpose computing system is not critical, but embedded system is very critical. Based on this also, you should be able to identify a normal general computing electronic system and an embedded system from today. Nice. The final criteria is execution. For a general purpose computing system, the execution time need not be deterministic. But when you come to embedded system, execution should be deterministic for certain types. Basically for reactive and real-time embedded systems. What it means is, the system should respond to a request or a task in known amount of time. Because a real-time system cannot afford to miss any deadlines for any given task or operations. So the time taken for executing a particular task should be deterministic. It cannot vary when it comes to embedded system. Okay, I'm not generalizing because it's true only for certain types of embedded system based on the application. But it is not at all true for a general purpose computing system. It can take its own sweet time. I hope you have a feeling of embedded system at this point of time. And you will be able to distinguish between an embedded system and a general purpose computing system. If a system is given to you, you can identify that particular system falls in which category. Should I call it as an embedded system or not? So in coming videos, we'll be trying to find out characteristics of embedded system, general characteristics, applications of embedded system, and later on we'll look into the purposes of embedded system also. So keep watching. Thank you.